Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. Today I'm joined by Cam Douglas. He is the Director of Marketing for Optima Batteries, and my friend and colleague, Sue Mead, automotive journalist and four-wheel drive expert extraordinaire. I'm just added that end there. I just extraordinaire. I got to play that up a little bit. So we're talking batteries, and the reason we're talking batteries is we have Optima on that makes batteries. Well, yeah, but more than that. So we're talking batteries. There's lots of conversations about uh, new vehicles have more technology. We have more pulling on the battery systems. Batteries life is becoming an issue at times for certain new vehicles. And I just want to have Cam on to kind of talk about where we're at with these batteries and what you're looking for as a consumer, what you should be shopping for. Do you just go to Walmart, grab the cheapest one off the rack, or does it really matter? And those conversations I want to have. So welcome everybody. I'm going to ask Cam first to get this party started. So Cam, when you're looking for a battery, what does a person need to look for? What are keys?
Yeah, so a couple things to really consider, and that's first of all, how do you use your vehicle? So if it's a daily driver, or if it's a toy that's in your garage that's seldom used. And then if it's seldom used, what do you use it for? Are you hardcore off-roader? Is it something you take to shows? Is it something that you're building up and putting a lot of added electronic accessories on it? Things like that all come into play. But first, for a daily driver, Clarios, our parent company, makes some of the greatest batteries in the world for daily drivers. I would say that they're available at most every automotive parts retailers. Clarios is our parent company that manufactures over 150 million batteries worldwide, and so chances are very good that you have a Clarios battery in your car today. And if it's an Optima, then it's definitely Clarios. So again, for a daily driver, that might be just a perfect battery for you. If you're pushing your vehicle to its limits, whether it's off-road or on-road, or you're adding incremental electronics like a radio, lights, winch, things like that, that's when you're taxing the original, electrical system. So that's when you want to consider something that's a little better battery. Optima manufactures it's called a pure lead AGM battery that will perform better in applications where people are upgrading their vehicle. We offer a starting battery and also a dual purpose one that's for starting and for deep cycling. So in other words, if you put a winch on your truck, it's kind of a pretty common upgrade. When you're winching a vehicle or your vehicle out of a problem situation, you're actually taking more amperage than typically an alternator is able to put out. And that's when you're consuming energy directly from the battery, not necessarily the way the vehicle was designed. And so you're taxing that battery, you're cycling it, and that's why we came up with the yellow top battery. The unique features of our yellow deep cycle technology, due to its pure lead construction, is the fact that it has extremely high cranking power, so it can perform that dual function. So how you're using it, and then how the battery is being used in the application. If you're just building a hot rod truck with minimal electronics, and all you needed to do is start the vehicle, our red top battery is just perfect for that. It has a little higher cranking power than the yellow battery, but it's pure starting. It's not designed to be cycled numerous times. So I hope that kind of helps. You want to make sure you're choosing the right battery for the right application.
And I just pulled up, and it looks like that's where you're talking about the yellow top, the ones that have a yellow top.
Yeah, the yellow top battery is the one that is kind of, when people ask me without giving me a lot of information, I always default to the yellow top because it's kind of the one that does everything. and you know, I don't want to confuse people, but you'll see a blue battery sticking out there as well. That battery is essentially comes in two different flavors. We have a blue top starting battery and a blue top deep cycle battery. The difference is the color of the case, which this one has the same color case. The blue battery is the yellow one next to it. That's the exact same chemistry inside, but it has terminals that are more friendly for marine applications or RV applications. So anything that is pure deep cycle for running trolling motors and things like that. What's unique though is a lot of people like that blue battery because it has those additional stainless steel terminals on there for mounting incremental electrical accessories. So same as the yellow battery, just has different terminals on it and a different color, obviously.
And battery life has been a big deal in the EV side. So are there improvements in batteries today that you guys are putting out that last longer and perform better?
Quite a few. I mean, we're constantly looking for ways within you know, the bigger company, Clarios, to work on what is the best technology for batteries going forward based on how vehicles are evolving. And you know, there are challenges with all types of aspects of battery distribution, recycling, and everything that goes along with batteries. So some of the newer technology is a little bit slower to, you know, come to fruition, but there's a lot of neat things being tested. But over the years, lead acid batteries have evolved dramatically. They've, you know, even as recently as 10, 15 years ago, batteries were the majority of automotive and truck batteries were a black box with free-flowing acid in them with lead plates hanging in that bath of acid. So if you were to poke a hole in that case, electrolyte would go all over the place. I'm sure you're familiar with looking at vintage trucks that are in all original condition, and you open the hood, and typically right above the battery tray on the hood, it's all rusted out because battery fumes, or you know, the battery tray gets rusted out, things like that. That's from that electrolyte that eventually works its way out, whether it's in gassing or whether it actually spills out during, you know, vibration or heavy use. So it's moved from that to a product or a technology called AGM, absorbed glass mat. And so most batteries coming in vehicles today are AGM. And you'll see that most of the options for replacement today, even for older vehicles, the better choice is AGM. And Optima is a form of AGM. We were actually the first commercially available AGM battery. And even Optima has refined that over the years with looking for, you know, the best separator material, making sure that our acid or our lead is as pure as possible, and that the grade of acid and the grade of poly that we put together in the case and things like that to make sure that we're providing the best, longest lasting power we can.
Yeah, I grew up with the Die Hard commercials where your truck's broken down at Sears and you have to go jump at the 2 a.m. or something. It's nice to know that batteries are getting a lot better.
Right on. And as far as, you know, even newer technology that's coming out and has been out for a little while in a smaller way, but it's being adopted by some specialty vehicles, is lithium ion, specifically for starting internal combustion engine motors. So vehicles with ICE motors, basically, their lithium is quickly becoming a choice for enthusiasts, people looking for lighter weight, consistent power delivery, and longer life. So lithium's kind of getting there. But like I said before, the challenges in distribution are they're a challenge. Let's just put it that way. We have such a wonderful system for lead acid batteries, AGM batteries today, where we can reclaim them, and 98% of those old batteries are used to make new batteries. The joke is that, and there's a lot of truth to it, but that brand new F-250 that you buy today, that battery that powers it could have been your great grandpa's battery, right? And there's a lot of truth to it. Clarios, from a recovery standpoint, batteries are the most recyclable product in the world. As far as the ability to recover, that 98% of the battery we can recover, and sheer, tonnage, because lead's so heavy, obviously. But we recycle 8,000 batteries an hour. So every hour we're recycling 8,000 batteries, and all, again, 98% of that goes into a new battery that we manufacture. Not on the Optima side, because Optima uses pure lead, but on the general battery side. So kind of it's really a neat, environmentally safe, one of the best ecosystems going for products made. So to shift from that and now shift into newer technology, there's challenges in recycling and making sure that it's environmentally friendly.
Yeah, that's been the case with lithium-ion batteries and EVs for a long period of time. Trying to recycle those economically plus environmentally. I know there's some companies working on it, but it seems like it's still kind of a pipe dream out there. So if go back to your example, your Ford F-250, if you buy a new Ford F-250, you may be thinking about ways you want to improve the truck, or maybe you want to talk about ideas on how to what battery to buy to improve the truck. Do you think it's a wise idea to take a look at Optima batteries as soon as you buy a new vehicle, or do you think it's an idea to just go with the OEM battery? I've seen a lot of OEM batteries now, whatever brand they put in these things that are failing. So, what do you say to a guy like that?
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why that might be happening, up to and including the time they put the battery in at the factory to the time that vehicle is sold. Sometimes that vehicle, that F-250 might be sitting on the lot or in transit for 60 days. And somebody may have not started it except to move it on and off a carrier from time to time. And as you are probably well aware of, vehicles today never really shut off. So there's always something going in them. Like I have a new 23 Raptor. And every time I walk by it with the keys in my pocket, it says hello to me and all the lights come on and everything. It's like, I wish I could turn that off because it's consuming power. I'm just walking by it. I'm not trying to get in yet, right? But it thinks I am, so it wants to say hello. Anyway, long story short, there is a parasitic draw on the battery, and if it sits for 60 days, that original perfectly good battery that's in there may be challenged. And so upon delivery, if they don't, give those batteries in the new vehicles a good charge and get it prepped for a customer, doesn't always happen. And so somebody may be driving off the lot with a challenged battery. And one thing that we always like to tell people is that your alternator is a maintenance device. It's not designed to be a charger to continuously charge deeply discharged batteries. It can, but are you ready to go for a couple hour drive and have that alternator fully recover these batteries that are discharged? So anyway, I'm probably making a shorter story quite longer here, but worry about that from a distribution standpoint. And then, when you're considering an upgrade, typically most people say, well, I'd like to buy a new, cooler, better performing battery, but the one I have works pretty good right now. And if it does, use it, don't just spend good money after bad. Go ahead and use it. The newer batteries coming in vehicles today, like I said before, for the most part, are better quality AGM batteries. And so I would say if you're just leaving it original and using it as kind of that daily driver or kind of, basic work truck, use the battery you got until you have issues with it. But if you do, and it continuously discharges, or you're having challenges with it, make sure your charging system's fine. If it's not, have it checked out. But if it is, then it might be time for an Optima battery. If you can recognize the features and benefits from having a battery that's totally sealed, it withstands significantly higher vibration than other AGM batteries. It'll recharge quicker. It'll hold its voltage longer. So it will have that capability to kind of work longer in a situation with a parasitic draw. And then it's got the ability to be recovered numerous times. So even if it does draw down, the batteries are below enough energy to start your vehicle. Typically, in most cases, they'll be recovered much easier than your basic battery that was in the truck. I hope that helps a little bit. Did I cover?
Yeah, no, that was interesting. I wouldn't think about batteries to that degree, but it does make sense when you start adding features to it or adding how you're using your truck. In my mind, I was thinking to myself about like ambulances, fire trucks, police officers, things that sit, or like a bucket truck that you don't use the battery all the time, or you draw on it quite a bit for that extensive a short period. Or like racing, which leads me to Sue Mead on racing. I was gonna make sure I got you in this conversation, but I know you spent some time with Optima recently at King of the Hammers, and I know you had some thoughts you want to share about that experience.
Thanks so much. I would love to. And while we're talking about vibration and dependability, I know, Cam, you mentioned to me recently, or I know when we were together out at King of the Hammers, I learned that in the portfolio for Optima and Clarios is also military. And I think about the need for dependability and toughness in military vehicles. But I know, Tim, I talked to you last year when I was invited by Optima to join them for just a couple days at the King of the Hammers. And I'm an off-roader that's off-roaded all over the world and raced all over the world, but I'd always been going to the Chicago Auto Show, and instead of King of the Hammers, and King of the Hammers has started off for just a few days or a week, and now has become more than 100,000 people and 600 racers in this camp. So it was fascinating and just really cool to go in last year. And the first thing I learned that totally turned me on about Optima batteries is that they're sealed. And as Cam was saying, if you open up an old vehicle, or sometimes I'm in a new vehicle every week, but I've certainly opened up the hood of a vehicle, and when I've needed to charge something, I look at a battery, and there are times when I've seen leaking battery acid, and that has really wigged me out. But I love the fact that it's sealed, because at first I was thinking there are times as an off-roader, especially, you can roll over. I've only had that misfortune once. It was pretty spectacular crash. But also, I was thinking about the fact that vehicles roll over on highways all the time as well. And you have safety responders coming and trying to help remove people from vehicles, or maybe get your vehicle charged again. And I just love the fact that the battery is sealed. The other thing I noticed last year and again this year is that at the Optima compound, and by the way, Optima chose to up their game this year to become the presenting sponsor and title sponsor of KOH, along with an association with Ford with that. And it really impressed me to see Optima sort of putting its name and dollars on the line for this event that has grown so much. And everyone thinks of KOH as off-road racing, be it in trucks or side-by-sides or a variety of vehicles. But what was cool for me in getting to know Optima folks is that their passion is about, one of their passions is about motorsports. And motorsports can be off-road, can be on-road, and also they're very bullish on EVs, hybrids, hydrogen powered vehicles. And so at their camp, you had a photo of the charging area at the camp. And I know last year and this year, there were a lot of Rivian owners there that were charging their vehicles. There were cyber trucks that were there charging. And I just thought, or I think that there, it's almost impossible for a person with an electric vehicle to go out and go four-wheeling in a remote area or even very far off the road and have confidence that they're going to be able to get fully charged again. So as a matter of fact, in my car of the week plan this morning, I went from the Jeep 4xe, which has a small electric range, to the fully electric Ford F-150 Lightning, and it arrived with 149 miles of range, the most that could be put in it for a fast charging station near to me. Now I'm left with level 2 charging in my area, so I'll be spending some time charging my vehicle. But, and also to Cam's point, I know that 149 miles of range that arrived for me will vary depending on what accessory systems, background electronics are running, and also do I have a headwind when I head down the road to take my granddaughter skiing this afternoon? And what is my speed in the vehicle? Am I going to want heat? Yes, I am. All those things are going to come into play, and that's where I developed, this appreciation for Optima having in their own fleet a wide variety of vehicles, from performance vehicles to electric and hybrid, and what was that ice cream truck that you had there?
I'm kind of stuck on this one myself. I love like lifted Bel Air with dual rear tires. That kind of grabbed my attention flipping through the photos.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's absolutely crazy. So the other thing was just the fact that Optima has put its name on a wide variety of vehicles and a wide variety of talented athletes, from Christopher Polverde, who was one of the top winners at KOH and has been a Baja racer of renown, to folks that are, I went out with Casey Curry last year per Optima, giving me a ride with Casey is one of just really well known in the world of motorsports, off-road motorsports. And I went rock crawling with him and his side-by-side. But I know that I believe, Cam, you were saying, I know you've sponsored Tanner Faust and some competition with the Colorado Hill Climb, and also this sand hills driving event that's on pavement. So that was very appealing to me. I specialize in off-road, but I like motoring. And then lastly, as I got to know the folks at Optima, I was really hoping they would invite me back again this year. And I travel all the time, and I don't want to just get on another airplane, but I wanted to see what was new and learn some more about lithium ion this time. But also, this is a company that has a number of people that are on site that having fun and want me to have fun. And I mean that. They're having a great time, and they're not pressing the flesh every minute and saying, oh, let us tell you all the features of this battery. And they have these go-kart races, one of the evenings at King of the Hammers, that are so much fun. I'm really fortunate that I didn't get in and give it my hand at that one. But anyway, those are some of the things that I have noticed. And I was not a battery person. Unless my battery was dead on something, I just didn't think of batteries. I will take that back. In airplanes, alternators and batteries have certainly play a role. But yeah, I'm really appreciative to get to know Cam Douglas and Tom Downey from Clarios. And as I said recently, when I flew to China last year, one of their staff in Shanghai took me out to dinner the first night that I was there. And I was, oh my gosh, from Johnson Valley Desert to Shanghai, China, I'm hanging out with Optima people. So I'm an enthusiast.
Yeah, you're definitely you get the big smile going and everything. Batteries are really interesting, and that's why I want to kind of this conversation is because, like I said, we've had uh, that batteries dealership lots. I got a bunch of battery charger units, that big accessory item now. But I think it really comes down to the fact that batteries are changing, they are evolving. I know, like golf carts, especially. I mean, golf cart batteries have changed a lot. LED batteries in golf carts are crazy. It's how fast they are. Lithium batteries, should say. So I think things are changing. I think people are understanding that these vehicles have more technology, more features, and because of that, you have more power draw. I remember reading stories years ago about vehicles going from a 12-volt setup to a 48-volt setup because of how much draw there is from all these accessories. But it's, I don't think the industry is ready to go to that level yet. And knowing that we have better quality batteries, I think makes a lot of sense for a lot of people. Okay, well, there we go. I think that's 27 minutes of people knowing more about batteries than they ever knew in the past. There's a quiz down below. Make sure you fill out the quiz. No, just kidding. No tests going on here. But I thank you both for being here, and make sure you check out the videos and channel up over here. Website down below as well. Pickuptrucktalk.com. As always, thanks for watching. We will see you down the road.